Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research. The Sunday Roast presents 12 Stocks for the 12 Days of Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the 12 Stocks for the 12 Days of Christmas. I'm Phil Carroll and today we're joined by Mark Routh, CEO of Prospex Energy. Welcome, Mark, and Merry Christmas.
Yes, good morning. First time I've had Merry Christmas, so that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. But we're getting there now, aren't we?
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So Prospex has been chosen as one of the top 12 for 2023. Do you want to give the listeners a quick summary of what Prospex do and what has been achieved thus far in 2022, please?
Yes, well, firstly, thank you for picking us as top 12. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, Prospex is an energy company. We are producing gas in Spain, and that gas is being delivered to our power plant in the Seville province in a town near Carmona. And we are generating electricity from that gas and selling it into the grid. And we get the spot prices every day, selling the electricity into the grid. And that is generating a decent income. That asset is owned roughly 50-50 between Prospex Energy and Warrego Energy, our joint venture partner in that asset, and Warrego is ASX listed in Australia. The other asset, which is the bulk of our value, is in Italy, the Po Valley of Italy. We're on a site visit in October. There's a well there which was drilled in 2017 by Po Valley, the operator, and the co-venturers. And that well has had approval for connection to the local grid operated by SNAM, the Italian gas grid operator. And the pipeline to connect the well to the grid is now being laid, and I have pictures of it being welded and trenched. It's just 1 kilometre away from the tying point and the delivery point, and we'll be selling gas, we hope, by March, April of next year, with significant cash flows coming into the company.
Very good. Mark, so tell us a little bit about the story of Italy, because this hasn't just settled a whole last week and it's happened. So tell us a little bit about where we're at and why this is the time, 2023, for the company.
Well, it is the time, and the whole situation of energy security in Europe has obviously changed in the recent past. The well was drilled in 2017, and we immediately applied for a production concession and development approval from the Italian authorities. Now, Italy is well known for its bureaucracy and its slow pace of approvals. Some people believed it would never happen, didn't believe it would ever happen. However, the mood music in Italy has changed somewhat. There's a change of government. There's a new ministry. The ministry is called Ministry of Environment and Energy Security. That is a significant step in the positive direction towards actually not banning fossil fuels, but realizing that gas is a transition fuel in order to get us to the next step. So it's taken a long time to get approvals. We had to do an environmental monitoring seismic program to monitor the background seismicity of the area to ensure, from the local point of view, that the extraction of gas was not going to cause earthquakes. That commenced in February 22 and finishes in February 2023. So after 12 months, we'll be allowed to connect and produce the gas. And in the meantime, we're just getting on with the development and connecting the well to the grid.
Okay, so from what point in 2023 do you anticipate that first gas will flow and first revenues will be received? And in what way is that going to be? Are there offtake agreements being organized? Are you going to have a fixed price gas? Is it going to be spot price? What is the likely scenarios?
Well, firstly, it's not going to be fixed. It's going to be linked to the TTF. The TTF gas price is, as you know, quoted in the Netherlands. Italian gas price is linked to the TTF gas price. I have decided that Prospex would jointly market this, frankly, small amount of gas for most gas marketers. I've decided that we would market this jointly with Po Valley Energy, the operator. So Prospex is 37% in the joint venture, and Pro Valley is 63%. So we're joint marketing the gas. The operator is talking to 3 gas offtake companies who are going to buy the gas at the delivery point, which is a kilometre away from the well site. That those agreements haven't been finalised yet, but I'm confident they will be by the time of first gas. First gas is expected in April. First revenues probably late April, early May. And that revenue, by our estimates, is going to be in the region of 8 million euros per year, net to Prospex, net of tax, net of royalty. And that is based on a conservative gas price of the future gas price in 2023. We're actually seeing gas prices rising now, especially with this cold weather.
Sure. And what about the permits, the necessary permits? Are they in place, or will they be in place soon?
All the permits are in place. That has taken a great deal of effort in the background. I think I signed something like 20 affidavits to approve the process to get the 2 subsidiaries which own our share in the joint venture approved as a production operator in Italy. That is now done. And so that's a great big tick in the box for getting things into production.
Sure. Should we talk a little bit about the Warrego, the fact that there's a fight for Warrego would be intensifying? I saw a news release only a week ago that talked about Strike Energy increasing its stake in takeover target Warrego Energy. So I think it was around to 19.9%. How will that affect things going forward, or what implications will that have on the Spanish assets?
Well, firstly, in context, the Warrego Energy is our joint venture partner in Spain. The asset in Spain is a tiny portion of the Warrego net value. It's about 1 or 2% of the net value of the Warrego assets, because they have a huge gas discovery on the Perth Basin in Western Australia.
Sure.
Warrego Energy is in play. There are several companies bidding for Warrego Energy. It's quite an exciting time. There's a bidding war going on. Some of the parties bidding have indicated they want to keep the Spanish assets, and some of the parties bidding have said we want to sell the Spanish assets. So either way, Prospex is going to end up with a joint venture partner in Spain, either a different name with deeper pockets than even Warrego, or they're going to be for sale. Now, if they're going to be for sale, then Warrego, the new owners of Warrego, might sell those assets. If that happens, Prospex will look at the value, and they will look at our rights, and we will make a business decision at the time whether or not we want to purchase the Spanish assets. But can I just make one thing clear? With the cash flow we're going to get from Italy, I do not perceive there being a need to raise any further equity by issuing shares in Prospex to fund any future acquisitions, unless they're going to be of very large scale, and that is probably unlikely. The scale of the Spanish acquisition is probably not going to be out with the cash that we're going to be generating next year.
Well, that's some statement, and I'm sure shareholders will feel pretty reassured by that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mark, what is the potential upscaling in Italy? You talked about £8 million, obviously based on or 8 million euros based on a price now. Is the potential in Italy to increase the volume of gas regardless of the gas price?
Yes, it would come from further drilling on the production concession. The great thing about having the production concession granted with the Italian authorities is that we now have the right to drill in the license, in the production concession. All we need to do is permit each individual well. That permitting process is much shorter than getting a production concession. On our website, there's a corporate presentation which shows maps of the various structures on the permit. There's one called North Selva, one called South Selva, and one called East Selva. North and South are smaller, but they are contingent resources under the CPR. East Selva hasn't got a well in it, so it's prospective resources, but East Selva is much bigger. It's 35 BCF net, whereas the Selva field we're producing from is 13 BCF. These are gross numbers. 35 BCF gross for East Selva and 13 BCF gross for Selva. Now, in offshore North Sea terms, 13 and 35 BCF is a small gas field. But remember, we are onshore here, where the wells cost between 1 and 2.5 million euros. It's not deep. We're about 2,000 meters below the surface. So the wells are cheap, but the gas flow from the wells is proven and and can be sold very easily into the grid, which is this connection we're making at the moment.
Yeah, and would it be safe to assume that once the permitting and everything's done on one side, that it will be kind of an easier, quicker process to get the permits for the next, for the e-Selva, etc.?
Yes, and that is true, because the other thing is that you can't underestimate the power of local knowledge. The
Sure.
Po Valley, the operator on the ground, offices in Rome, are on site near Bologna by the well site. They know the local people, they know the local mayor, the local regional government. So, local knowledge is key here. When we visited in October, it's quite impressive how the local community is actually incredibly supportive of this activity. It's local jobs, and they can see that it's going to help the security of energy supply.
Really, I mean, Bologna is a beautiful city. It's one of my favourite in northern Italy, anyway. But as you say, it sounds like things are going extremely well, and we look forward to seeing how things progress into 2023.
Yeah.
Before we do, Kev's got a question regarding Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, Mark, we ask everybody who comes onto this to tell us their favourite Christmas present that they've ever received.
Oh, okay. Is this? Yes, I'm a bit conflicted here because
it could be from childhood. It could be from childhood. It doesn't, last year, or even one you've given in the past that you're proud of.
I wasn't expecting that one. I think it could go back to when I saw CH4 Energy. That was the best Christmas present we had. It was a fairly early Christmas present that year, but that was a big bonus for me.
Very good. Very good. Okay, well, we wish you a great deal of luck, and it seems very much that this company is basically on the right track. The income should come. In a way, I think the only things that can hold us up are the normal bureaucracy, but hopefully we've taken so many steps in 2022 that that's not going to be a problem for you going forward. And I don't think so, no. Yeah, and I think potentially to increase your gas production isn't going to be a big ask either, especially with the requirement for the gas. And, that could basically substantially increase your income and substantially increase your share price. I mean, as a utility company, gas with the ability to produce gas for the next decade minimum and probably a lot more, you've got to be looking probably at a price earnings ratio of between 8 to 10 to be very conservative. That would, based on your figures, then put you at a value of 60 to 80 million euros, which is significantly less than your current market capitalization. So, yeah, we wish you luck. One of the main reasons why we chose you, and we think that this is going to be a winner.
I can't argue with your numbers, but let's hope, wait and see.
Mark Routh, CEO of Prospex Energy, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.